Hello everyone, it's Kimmy and welcome back to Jolvie. This video is going to be all about that shiny myth that you can go off into the world and go traveling to find yourself. I think that this is a very common thing people think, that a lot of people really want to have the ability to just drop everything, go on this crazy around the world trip to find yourself, and that kind of concept of finding yourself, like coming back as this whole new person through all the things you learned while you were away in these exotic new places. And I just wanted to talk about that and my experiences because I left my home in the USA. I'm from California. Almost like 3 years ago. It'll have been almost 4 years since I left when I go visit early next year, which is the current plan. And have I found myself? No, I haven't. I've been away from home for a very long time and I have not. I wouldn't say that I've found myself because I think finding yourself is probably something that I won't ever do. But in a more kind of broad term, like description of the term finding myself, I would say that I am a bit closer to whatever that is now than I was when I left. But it's not for the reasons you would think. So a lot of people think that when they go traveling, the lessons they learn while they're traveling will teach them all this stuff about themselves. But I found that it's actually not because of how crazy the lessons are you get from all the different cultures and new experiences you are in. It's more for me about going into these new experiences and life circumstances, and maybe you think, oh, when I get to Japan, where I am now, I'm gonna be in this new environment and I'm gonna feel so inspired and everything. But the truth of the matter is that you arrive in this new place and you're exactly the same. You've not changed at all. You're the same person. And you get into this thing where, like, maybe you thought you had these kind of ideas about your life where you're like, I can't do this, I can't do that, because I want to be, I want to have freedom, I want to keep my options open, or you just have these ideas about your future and you don't jump into your ideas, you don't really commit to anything because you think, well, I don't know what my future's going to look like, or something like that. But then you get to these new places and you realize that you can't run away from yourself, you know? Like, you're always going to be the same person with the same issues, and you're not going to be able to work through those issues unless you work through them. It's not, they don't go away magically because you leave your home. And I guess this is all just to say that I'm currently in a very privileged position to be traveling and away from home, and I have a lot of time to kind of reflect on myself and about what I want in life. And like, I don't know, maybe you guys can relate, that maybe you've also thought lately that you're not completely happy. I know a few things I've realized lately is that I tend to not prioritize my own judgment. I don't trust myself. I often think about other people's opinions about what I'm gonna do, and I put that on a higher pedestal than my own opinion. So like, I won't do something just because I think, oh, but what if my family would judge me or something, you know, or my boyfriend, maybe he wouldn't like that, or maybe my friends would think I'm weird or something like that. And then like, I have trouble putting boundaries up against what I'm not comfortable with, or you know, like, for example, minimalism is important to me, being frugal is important to me, being healthy is important to me. And I've just found that lately a bunch of stuff has come up for me where I want to prioritize that in my life, but I don't feel happy, I don't feel fulfilled if I'm not living like in alignment with my own values and desires and needs for my own life. And you know, maybe you can relate, that maybe you thought that if you went on this giant trip, that all of a sudden all this stuff would just click into place for you, that you'd just become this perfect version of yourself that could prioritize your own needs and just magically become the best version of you. But I'm here to tell you that that's not what happens. The reason why I think people often find themselves while traveling, and the reason why I'm becoming closer to the version of me that I want to become, isn't because I'm traveling. It's because that I traveled, realized I hadn't changed at all, and all my issues were exactly the same, and I've realized that the only way to tackle these issues is to face them head on. And sometimes I think unless you go traveling, like unless people go traveling and go out of their normal routine and realize this, they sometimes won't be able to look themselves in the face and say, okay, well, if you're ever going to change these things, you gotta do it, and do it now. So my current situation right now is that I'm in Japan and I'm studying abroad, and I've just realized a few things about myself that I'm just not entirely happy with. I did one video about it already. I did a video about my internet addiction. I've realized that this channel is a lot about journaling, mental health, minimalism, and I've found that in my mental health journey and my tendency to have like episodes of depression in my life, I've realized lately that a big part of that, and a way that I like medicate myself, like if I'm feeling down or if I'm feeling stuck, I use the internet as like medication for myself. I numb myself out using the internet. I will just spend hours on the internet. And I've realized that it doesn't matter that I'm in Japan. It doesn't matter that I'm traveling. I still do it. I still spend all my time online. So if I want to stop, I have to take drastic action. Another thing that I've realized is that I care a lot about my health. I really care about putting the best foods into my body and prioritizing my physical health in order to fuel myself and help my brain, because I think mental health is so important and my physical health is very tied to that. So for me, as someone who knows how important my mental health is, I feel very passionate about prioritizing my physical health and my diet. And the problem with that I found is that I'm very easily swayed if something comes up where people are eating really unhealthy food, or something that I wouldn't want to eat, or drinking a bunch of alcohol. I often will eat it or drink it just because it's what everyone else is doing, and it doesn't matter that I'm in Japan. I'm still doing it, you know? And there's just a couple ways that I've really wanted to change my diet. I'll probably do other videos about that, and I just haven't done it. And it doesn't matter that I'm in Japan, still haven't done it. And I was having a lot of excuses about it as well with my diet. I was like, well, if I'm traveling, then I want to be free to eat what I want. I don't want to like place limits on my diet. I don't want to be this health freak, because then when I go traveling, I won't be able to eat all the local foods. But I found that when I go traveling and I eat really unhealthy foods that don't align with what I want to be putting into my body, do I feel good? No, it doesn't matter that I'm in Japan. It doesn't matter. And then with my income and my minimalist kind of philosophy about life, I tend to purchase things that don't serve me, often because it's what other people are doing. If other people want to go to a really expensive restaurant, I'll go and spend money even though it's not what I want to be doing. And of course it's kind of like balance. I don't want to become so frugal that it's tying me down and making me feel sad. But yeah, I guess, I don't know, I've just realized lately that those definitely aren't the only things, but it really does stem for me from wanting to be someone who values my own judgment. I find that I really respect people who put themselves first, have this really strong sense of self-love, and I've realized I have to take an effort, like a constant current effort, to become the person I want to be, and it's not going to happen by magic just because I'm traveling. I have to do it. It's difficult to change, but I have to do it, and it's something that I'm definitely struggling with right now. So for example, today, to combat my internet addiction, one thing that I've really been struggling with lately is using the app Instagram way too much. So I'll go on my phone, on the train, all day, blah blah blah. And I would say that was the app that was like absorbing the most of my time. So I decided to put a picture out on my story and my main feed on Instagram and say I have to take a break, and I deleted the app off my phone. I deleted Facebook off my phone, just so when I leave the house I'm not allowed or not able to use those apps. And then that way when I get home I can go on YouTube, watch some YouTube videos, upload videos to YouTube, but I'm not going to be doing it all the time. I want to keep it as something that I do to wind down in the evening, or maybe just a little bit here and there, but I don't want to have it as something that I'm constantly using. So I've made that choice to delete it off my phone. Maybe I'll get to the point where I can get it back again at some other time, but it's currently not what I want to be doing, so that's where I'm at on that. And with my diet, I've really decided to start prioritizing what I want to be eating at home, and I still find it very difficult to do that when I'm not at home, when I'm like out in social situations, but that'll be a process, and I'm sure to make other videos about my diet and my journey of figuring all that out. So I don't know, I just find that what I'm eating has such a big part, like it ties so much into how I feel. And as someone who really wants to figure out all my brain stuff, that's something that I really want to figure out. So yeah, today was just not a very good day for me. I spent the majority of the day on the computer, and then I just felt really stuck inside. Like I just felt like I couldn't leave the house, and I don't know why. It was like I just wanted to stay on the computer all day, and I've been having this issue for the past few days. When I don't have any class here in Japan, I just get stuck on the computer and it's really frustrating. So that's why I've taken these drastic actions, saying I'm not going to be posting on Instagram at all. I'm still going to be making videos, but I decided that I'm not going to use Facebook or Instagram, just for now. And I'm just going to make these videos for my own, like, desire to make them, and I'll put them up on YouTube, but I'm not going to put in so much effort of trying to push them out onto the internet and get a bunch of fans, because really I don't want that to be my motivation anyway. I don't want creating this Jolvie site to be all about me having people tell me how great I am, because that's not healthy either. I want my love for myself to come from myself. I don't want to be validating my own existence through other people's love and affection, and I feel like that's a dangerous thing I get into a lot of the time, where I feel really reliant on the likes and the comments and the subscribers, because I used to have a popular site, and I guess I still feel a bit of a drive to have that again, and I don't want that to be my motivation for Jolvie. I want the fun of creation and having a passion project to be my motivation. So yeah, that's my longish video about why I think traveling is not how people find themselves. Traveling and realizing that no matter where you go, you're always the same person with the same issues. That's what helps you find yourself. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!